If you've ever felt like there's a part of you sabotaging your best intentions, a force inside that makes you say things you regret, choose people who hurt you, or destroy opportunities right when success is within reach, Jung discovered something that will change how you see yourself forever. He called it the shadow self. And here's what's disturbing. It's not just controlling your decisions. It's been running your entire life from behind the scenes, and you never even knew it was there. By the end of this video, you'll understand the 7 unmistakable signs your shadow is in control, why it exists in the first place, and most importantly, how to integrate it before it destroys everything you're trying to build. Carl Jung spent decades studying the human psyche, and what he discovered about the shadow terrified even his colleagues. He realized that every single person walking this earth has a hidden self, a collection of traits, desires, and impulses that we've buried so deep we don't even recognize them anymore. But here's the trap. The more you deny your shadow, the stronger it becomes. It doesn't disappear when you ignore it. It grows in the darkness of your unconscious mind, waiting for moments of weakness to take control. Jung warned that the shadow isn't your enemy. It's the disowned part of yourself that holds tremendous power. The question is, will you integrate it and become whole, or will you let it control you from the shadows for the rest of your life? Let's start with why this shadow even exists. From the moment you were born, society began programming you. Your parents told you what was acceptable. Your teachers rewarded certain behaviors and punished others. Your culture defined what it means to be good. And every time you expressed something that didn't fit that mold, anger, selfishness, sexual desire, aggression, vulnerability, you learned to hide it, not just from others, but from yourself. Jung called this process shadow formation. Everything you couldn't accept about yourself got pushed into your unconscious. Your rage became politeness, your desires became shame, your power became people-pleasing. But here's what most people don't understand. Those rejected parts didn't disappear. They formed a separate identity in your unconscious, your shadow self. And now, it's making decisions for you without your awareness. The shadow is why you attract toxic relationships that mirror your hidden traits. It's why you self-sabotage right before breakthrough moments. It's why you feel like you're at war with yourself. But the shadow isn't random. It leaves clues. And Jung identified specific signs that reveal when your shadow is in control. The 7 signs your shadow controls you. Sign number 1, you have extreme reactions to certain people. Have you ever met someone and instantly felt intense hatred or disgust, even though they didn't do anything to you? Jung called this projection. When you see traits in others that trigger disproportionate emotional reactions, you're actually seeing your own disowned shadow qualities reflected back at you. The person who irritates you for being too confident is showing you the confidence you've suppressed. The person you judge for being selfish is revealing the self-care you've denied yourself. Your shadow uses other people as mirrors. But this second sign is where it gets truly unsettling. Sign number 2, you repeat the same self-destructive patterns. You promise yourself you'll never date that type of person again. Then you do. You commit to a new goal, then sabotage it. You know what you should do, but you do the opposite. This isn't weakness. It's your shadow executing its agenda. Jung discovered that the shadow has its own intelligence, its own desires. When your conscious mind says, "I want success," your shadow might be saying, "I want to prove I'm unworthy," because that's the identity you formed in childhood. The pattern repeats because your shadow is more powerful than your willpower. Until you integrate it, you'll keep losing the internal war. Sign number 3, you feel like you're wearing a mask. You present one version of yourself to the world, polite, agreeable, put together, but inside, you feel like a fraud. Jung called this the persona, the social mask we wear to hide our shadow. The exhaustion you feel isn't from your job or responsibilities. It's from the constant energy required to suppress your authentic self. Your shadow contains the raw, unfiltered truth of who you are, and every day you deny it, you lose more of your life force. What Jung discovered about the fourth sign shocked even his colleagues. Sign number 4. You have disturbing dreams or intrusive thoughts. Your shadow doesn't stay silent. It speaks through dreams, often as threatening figures, dark presences, or scenarios where you're being chased. These aren't random nightmares. They're your unconscious mind trying to show you what you've repressed. During waking hours, your shadow appears as intrusive thoughts, violent impulses, taboo desires, fears that seem irrational. Most people try to suppress these even harder, but Jung warned, what you resist persists. The more you fight your shadow, the more it haunts you. Sign number 5. You're overly critical or judgmental. If you find yourself constantly judging others, criticizing their choices, or feeling morally superior, your shadow is projecting. Jung observed that we judge most harshly in others what we can't accept in ourselves. The person who obsessively criticizes others for being fake is often hiding their own inauthenticity. The person who judges others for their sexuality is often repressing their own desires. Your judgment is a defense mechanism protecting you from seeing your shadow. But this sixth sign reveals something even more dangerous. Sign number 6. You experience sudden emotional outbursts. You're calm, rational, in control, then suddenly you explode with rage, break down crying, or lash out at someone you love. These aren't character flaws, they're shadow eruptions. Jung explained that when you suppress emotions long enough, they build pressure in your unconscious. Eventually, your shadow breaks through your defenses and takes control. In those moments, you're not yourself, you're your shadow self, acting out everything you've been denying. Sign number 7. You feel disconnected from your true self. This is the ultimate sign. You look in the mirror and don't recognize yourself. You achieve goals but feel empty. You're surrounded by people but feel alone. Jung called this alienation from the self. When your shadow is in control, you're living someone else's life, the life your parents wanted, society expected, or fear demanded. Your authentic self, your true power, your real desires, they're all locked in your shadow, waiting to be reclaimed.
Here's the mechanism Jung discovered. Your shadow doesn't control you through force. It controls you through invisibility. Because you can't see your shadow, you can't make conscious choices about it. It operates in your blind spots, influencing your attractions, triggering your reactions, sabotaging your goals, and shaping your identity, all without your awareness. Your shadow chooses your partners based on unresolved childhood wounds. It creates conflicts to validate the negative beliefs you formed about yourself. It pushes away opportunities because deep down, it believes you don't deserve them. The shadow is the puppet master, and as long as it remains unconscious, you're the puppet. But Jung also discovered the solution, and it's not what most people think. Step 1. Stop fighting your shadow. Observe it. The first rule of shadow work: what you resist persists. Stop trying to eliminate your negative traits. Instead, become curious about them. When you feel intense emotion, ask, what part of my shadow is speaking right now? Step 2. Identify your projections. Make a list of people who trigger you. What specific traits bother you? Those traits are your shadow qualities. The goal isn't to become those things. It's to acknowledge they exist within you and integrate them consciously. Step 3. Dialogue with your shadow. Jung used a technique called active imagination. In meditation or journaling, speak directly to your shadow. Ask it, what do you want? What are you trying to protect me from? Your shadow often formed to keep you safe. Understanding its intention is key to integration. Step 4. Express your shadow in healthy ways. If your shadow holds repressed anger, find constructive outlets, martial arts, intense workouts, assertiveness training. If your shadow holds repressed creativity, create without judgment. Integration means giving your shadow conscious expression instead of unconscious control. Step 5. Accept your wholeness. Jung's ultimate insight: you are not just light. You are light and dark, conscious and unconscious, persona and shadow. Wholeness means accepting all of it. The goal isn't to be good. It's to be real, integrated, and free. Understanding your shadow isn't about fixing yourself. You're not broken. You're fragmented. And every fragment you reclaim makes you more powerful, more authentic, more whole. Jung spent his life warning humanity. The shadow doesn't go away. It either controls you from the darkness, or you integrate it and become sovereign. The 7 signs we covered today aren't weaknesses. They're invitations. Your shadow is trying to get your attention. It's showing you where your power has been hidden, where your authenticity has been buried, where your true self is waiting to emerge. The choice is yours. Continue living as half of yourself, controlled by invisible forces, or do the work, face your shadow, and finally become who you were always meant to be. Because until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate.
If this content is making sense to you, click the subscribe button and subscribe to the channel. Thank you for your support.